It can be very tough, especially when money is tight, to convince voters to pay more in taxes. But that's what happened in Kansas City, Missouri earlier this month. They approved nearly $500 million for improvements at KCPS, saying yes to the first bond issue benefiting the district in nearly 60 years.
Now is the time. Time to do more than just Band-Aid fixes. Time to set our schools up for a sustainable future. Time for actions that match our rhetoric. And time to invest in our children's present and their future.
Each school gets at least $5 million for new projects, and the district will work to bring many buildings back from disrepair and into the 21st century. Kansas City voters also decided to keep a quarter-cent public safety sales tax around for another 20 years. The money will fund several projects for KCFD and PD, including work on the 911 system and a new city jail. Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas supported both measures. Joins us now here on Heart of the Matter at the end of a busy month. Welcome back. First off, you've had some weeks to consider what happened at the polls on April 8th. What are the results tell you?
You know, I think it became clear from Kansas City voters that they want public safety and stronger public education. When you hear people talk about what is the reason they live in Kansas City, Missouri or not, it is usually around the schools and feeling safe. And I was proud of our voters that said by pretty wide margins on both that we want to make sure our schools can be stronger, they're worth the investment, and we want to make sure in the public safety sales tax that we're investing in the infrastructure we need to make sure we're safer over the next generation.
On the public safety side, we did see some vocal opposition to the jail project, specifically critics and groups saying that the city should perhaps invest more in community and mental health programs. What say you?
I think we can do that. It's not an either or. It is important to recognize that there need to be consequences for criminal activity. What we cannot have is an ongoing situation where domestic abusers and others are cited with a ticket and then are free to go back to their homes or other spaces after some sort of event. They're not free to, but if we don't take them to jail, usually there isn't that consequence afterwards. So I think it's important that we have that, but we are also still investing in mental health. We have more mental health beds than we ever have had. We continue to invest in housing, including housing for returning citizens from incarceration. I think we are doing all the work to make sure we have a balanced and measured approach at how we address public safety in Kansas City, but enforcement, incarceration has to be a part of it.
Since last we spoke, the city fired now former city manager Brian Platt. You testified on his behalf, on the city's behalf during the lawsuit that the city lost in March. When did you lose confidence in Mr. Platt, and what have you learned from this experience overall? You
know, a few different things. First of all, you know, I was asked to testify. That's the sort of thing that comes up in some situations, and I think I shared the truth, as did others. But the truth that we learned throughout that trial was staff concerns and dissatisfaction. I think we saw cultural issues that were very concerning to us long term, and I think we thought that despite many of the wonderful things perhaps that Mr. Platt has been able to deliver in helping us with basic services, staff salary increases, you got to make sure that people feel like they're respected at work. You have to make sure that people feel comfortable in their workplace environment, and we thought it was necessary to go a different way. I wish him nothing but the best, but I think for our institution, the city of Kansas City, we have to make sure that it's a place where everybody feels like they're appreciated, that they know that they have this great worth, and more than anything, that it's an institution that really represents the values of Kansas City, that kindness, that supportiveness, that transparency, and that candor, which in the trial we didn't always hear.
You mentioned staff concerns and transparency. They kind of overlapped here with staff members saying that Mr. Platt had told them to lie to the media and by extension the public. We know that a number of local media affiliates have written an open letter to you calling on transparency. What is going to be done differently now, potentially with this new city manager and in city government, in the way of transparency?
Well, first things first, we're going to launch an official audit where we have a look at all of our communications operations. What are we doing well? What are we doing wrong? We also are going to make sure that as we interview new city manager candidates, we learn about their views on transparency, how you communicate actively and openly with the press. I'm somebody who talks to the press just about every single day, indeed sometimes too much according to some, but I think that we do need to make sure we're getting information out there. But I will note this, I have now been in elected office almost 10 years, and transparency and all those issues aren't necessarily new. It is something that we work on and we strive for every single day. Way back when we were talking about the airport in the mid-2010s, people had concerns about how transparent we were being on the process. This is something that isn't just one policy, it isn't just one person. It's something you have to practice every day, and I hope that our next manager makes clear to everyone in the institution that's something that's going to be expected.
And we know later this week week, there's another step in the city manager process, right?
We will be interviewing 3 candidates for city manager: the current acting city manager, Kimiko Gilmore, Pat Klein, who's our former aviation director, and Mario Vasquez, who is another assistant city manager. It's a great group of people, all of whom have been connected with the city for decades. So we will have lots of experience, and we'll be able to, I think, keep things going. I've been proud. Our institution is resilient. We're 175 years old, and the people of Kansas City can keep expecting road resurfacing and other basic services.
All right, we'll be watching. Mayor Quinton Lucas, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Count on KMBC 9 News and Heart of the Matter for continuing coverage of Kansas City issues that affect you and your family. It's all on air and online at KMBC.com.